Yes, now everybody, we are doing our predictions for the Berlin E-Prix, which is round 7 and 8 of the championship. I'm here with Kyle,
Hello,
and
everybody.
we are doing our predictions as per usual.
Yeah, every
Kyle,
race we turn up and we predict and we get them all wrong, but that's what we're all here for. So, and it's
exactly.
been a while, hasn't it, Corey? It's been absolutely, I think, 5, 6 weeks.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
Obviously, you've been away, so there's a lot to discuss before we even get on with our predictions. I will keep it brief because I've covered it on the channel, but there's been a lot of Formula E news. Corey hasn't been under a rock; he's been upside down in the world of Oz, and you've had a
yeah.
great time, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, tremendous. Weather was beautiful, and I just had a lot of fun. 3 weeks away. You missed me, didn't you, Kyle?
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah, calling me at 1 a.m. Anyway, but yes, I've been around the world and I have not been in the loop with any sports news, to be quite frank. So Kyle will probably have
I'll
said
give
all
you
of
a
it
little
in the.
update. So, for any of you that have been
Oh, right.
under a rock, we have had the launch of the Gen 4 car. Obviously, we kind of knew what it was going to look like, but they went to Paul Ricard, and there was a few drivers there testing it, and it was a monster and looked amazing. Some of the other creators as well, Corey, were invited over there, so maybe one time when Gen 5 comes, we'll be sipping champagne at Paul Ricard. But we can dream, we can dream. There's been a new DLC for a Formula Legends game. I don't think you've played it yet, Cor, but it's like a really cute version of an F1 game. But Formula E have actually,
Version.
yeah. Formula E have got a licensed DLC for it. So all the other stuff is like knockoff names. So it's like Michael Shoemaker and stuff. But this one is the actual names, the actual tracks. So, and it's, I just wanted to give it a shout out because I think this is fantastic for the community because we've had a long break, and if you're craving Formula E, there's only so many of the replays you can watch, but I want my own season where I take Zane Maloney to the top, that type of thing. So yeah, that was kind of the big Formula E news, was Gen 4, but for me it's that video game. I mean, they're on the same level. I'm sure people would disagree with that, but we also had a WEC race. That's WEC. I'm saying it wrong. A WEC, endurance. You know what I mean? I feel like I can't pronounce it. Obviously, Buemi won it. Basically, well, his team won it, and there was a ton of other Formula E drivers there. There was Cassidy, Nick De Vries, Da Costa. There was quite a few over there, and it was really, really cool to see. I didn't watch all of it because it's a 6-hour race, but it was awesome to see some of the ex Formula One drivers we used to watch as well in this racing series. So, but yeah, that's kind of the roundup. More to get Corey back in the loop because yeah, you've been enjoying yourself, and yeah, so
Yes.
we've obviously got the prediction show. The scores on the door of this: 42 points to my 35. Corey still has his hand on winning the trophy for this year, which is an amazing achievement. It was done on a doubleheader last time. Mortara absolutely served you in Jeddah with additional points, and even though you lost last week, it's kept you in the fight by a handful of points.
Oh,
So
I had an absolute shocker in Madrid. Oh, honestly, I don't know what happened. It was just one of them. I thought Ericsson was getting his San Miguel's out, and he didn't. And we'll come back stronger this time, hopefully.
yeah,
Um, but yeah,
what beers will he be
we'll
having in
see.
Germany?
Oh, it's got to be an Erdinger or something.
I
I'll
was
be having
really
an
testing your
Erdinger.
geography then to see if you knew any
Yeah,
German
God.
beers.
Jeez, I need to think about the next one. Where's the next race?
So the next one after that is Monaco. I don't think there's any Monegasque
Oh,
beers. There probably is, but not
Jesus.
that we'll know
Don't
from.
tell. Well, I'll have
Yeah,
to do some research on that.
I imagine there'd be
But
French beers. So obviously, yes, you did have a shocker. The person who didn't have a shocker though is Taylor from Circuit Breakers. He now has 3 wins in the Fan Zone Championship, and this is for you guys to get involved in. Copy and paste the pinned comment with your predictions for the Berlin E-Prix. It's a double header, so we copy and paste the first results over to the second. I have made an animated little video of the rules. You can click the video in the description or watch it after this to see how it all works if you don't understand. So because I put this screenshot up normally, but I don't want to keep reading the rules because a lot of you already know them now. So we've made a little animation for that. But yeah, what an amazing time to be back. We've obviously got Berlin this week. and then in 2 weeks' time we got Monaco, and then we're off to China. But let's let this double header do the damage, because I think that's what's going to happen. So the biggest highlights, I imagine, are Porsche versus Jag, as I mentioned in the pre-show, because Jaguar have really pulled it back. But I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to give Corey any good ideas, since this is a competition. So you're starting, so you'll do your predictions first. So with the groups, fourth, then my fourth, and your third, and that's the same. So
Right.
and then we know the draw from there. So
I fourth in the Duels, or fourth in to get into the Duels. I've gone for the last race winner, your favourite. I've gone Da Costa. It's been a while, and I was just thinking who would be in form and who's doing all right at the minute. So I just wrote down some names, and obviously Da Costa's back-to-back wins. He's doing great, so I just thought chuck him in there while he's in a bit of form. We may as well. So, and also I wanted him so you couldn't, because I know how much you love him.
yes,
So yes,
the
so
DAC
yes,
is
we have
certainly
gone
back.
for the DAC is in my dual selections this time. Who have you got in fourth then, Kyle?
Well, I've gone for Zane Maloney because I really want to back him. And because of the double headers, he gets to practice on Saturday, and then on Sunday, if he wants to just whack it into the duels, then I've got faith it'll do it in both days. But I think with a double header, it gives you a double chance to put it up there. I think he's been very unfortunate this season, but I think he's got a hand on that car, and I actually think we're going to see a Lola in the knockout stages, and hopefully, he could even get pole. But there's some big names out there, Cole, so...
Yeah, I think I know who you're putting for pole.
Maybe.
No, that caught me out. I really did not expect you to throw Zane Maloney in.
I've said in the last couple of videos, everyone should be a Lola fan at this point. Like they've only got 1 point on the board, so anything else is just pure happiness. So, but yeah, that's my fourth position.
Kyle's whipping out the bold predictions already. I love it.
I think the whole list is, to be honest. I've missed Formula E. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, you've just gone crazy. You've been doing loads of fantasy FE in your head, and you're just like, trying to dream it into a reality.
Get Zane Maloney to the top.
Yeah. Right, it's me as a...
Yeah, I was going to say, who is your third position?
I have gone for DS Penske's wonderful driver, Taylor Barnard. I have not gone Gunther.
No.
No, I've gone Barnard. I think he's just done better in qualifyings than Gunther has. I could be wrong. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen
think back to
Formula
Mexico and that to me, when I think qualifying, he's done very well.
And I just think that Barnard's going to show his face into the dual knockouts. So I've chucked him in there.
Yeah.
Just off vibes, really. But yeah, and obviously I can only have one driver from each team.
Yes.
So I've kind of spread it out a bit. So I've gone for Barnard as my select. If you're wondering why I keep looking down, it's my notes.
Yeah, and I still see Barnard as a little bit of a rookie, but he's not. He's been here for a while now, but he does know Berlin, and I think he's all right. So yeah, and it's nice to see that DS, you're thinking that they're going to be doing all right, because that's what we want. We want to see some more of the teams on the lower end get back some big points.
Yeah.
So
I think on race pace they haven't been there, but qualifying they've been, there or thereabouts. They've kind of just fell backwards. So I thought I'd put him in there, and we'll see how he goes.
I think it's a very fair shout.
Yeah.
So for my third, I have gone for someone who I think needs to get back on form, and I imagine he's going to get into the duels, and that's Oliver Rowland. So I'm not going to say it's one of his best tracks. He obviously wrapped up the championship here last year. Was a wet race, but I just think, he's in a quick car, and I think he's just had some unlucky races and unlucky positions. So, but I do have faith in that Nissan car, and I think Oliver Rowland, unlike last year, has had a bad start, and maybe he'll have a good finish. So that's kind of where I've gone with my thought process for the duels, or the knockout stage. So who's your second position?
My second position is the man that has yielded me many points in this predictions, and I've gone Mortara. Yes, in the Mahindra. he's consistent, and he's been in the duels. I feel like he's been in the duels a fair bit. So I thought, why not? I mean, he's doing well in the championship. Where is he in the championship? I can't even remember.
Mortara's second now.
Or,
He's
yeah,
been second for a while, but yeah.
yeah. So I've chucked him in there, and I've got him second on my list. So he's just an ever present. I feel like in the knockouts. So I thought, why not chuck him in there again, and hopefully he carries on his consistency in the duel.
That is what I would
qualifying to
say
get to
for
the duels, so.
Mortara, is he has been incredibly consistent across this season.
Yeah.
I think he was just very unfortunate in race 1, or else we would still be saying how consistent he would have been. Well, he still is. It's just it was that unlucky race, I would say, in Brazil. So
Definitely.
you actually took one of my guesses, so I'm going to go for my second now, which is Nick de Vries. So he has had so much bad luck this season, but I just want to mention he won the championship here before. He knows this track, and actually, yeah, I'm going for it. He actually missed last year, I think, because he did WEC, and that's where Drugovic took over, I believe. I'm just trying to recall, so don't have me in the comments if I was wrong, but I know that I know Drugovic raced there, that's all I can say off the top of my head. But I'm going for Nick de Vries because, come on, like he's a good driver. He's in I would say, the fastest package on the grid. So let's go for Nick de Vries. Who have you got for first in qualifying?
I know I don't need to say much about him, but it's Pascal Wehrlein. He's the championship favourite. I would say he's the favourite in the championship, and I've just slapped him in there. To be honest, Kyle, my brain's fried. I'm jet lagged. I'm just trying to think who's good in Formula E, and this is what my list has come to. So I've gone for Pascal Wehrlein because why not? And obviously that Porsche's a mega vehicle as well, isn't it? So,
Well, it's his home race for both the constructor and the driver.
Oh yeah.
So
wow, I didn't even think about that. So fairy tale. Then let's have him.
Well, I certainly did, because that's who I was going to have in one of my group stages. Now, I can go for his teammate, but I'm not going to. Because I'm going to go...
You're not trusting Muller?
No, I'm not going... Well, no, I do trust Muller. If you're watching Muller, I do trust you. But sometimes you got to go with your gut, and my gut's very different to Formula E's gut, because I've gone Sebastian Buemi again. I just think, listen, hear me out here. He won that race.
Let me guess. Why is he so quick?
Yeah. Why is he so quick? He's fast in Formula E. He's fast in the Endurance Series. And he is slowly becoming... If he doesn't get this World Championship, it's possible. He's had some unlucky races, but, I'm going for it. So... that is my boldest call, because I didn't even write him down. Well, I did, he was up the top, but I thought, no, I'll go Zane Maloney instead. But yeah, so that is who I think. And I do think you'll be laughing at me, right? But you watch those two races, and I can guarantee he's going to put a show on in qualifying. So I'm backing him. That's what you said about Gunther, and look out where that went.
Yeah, but mine wasn't because I thought he was quick. I just liked him. I just thought, what, we'll chuck him in there. But okay,
No,
who saw that one coming?
Yeah,
Can't begin blame me.
I'm scared though, because obviously you get pole position pick this time. So
I do.
I think so.
Well,
on my list, I've got it as you going first. So you're going first, you may as well have it first.
Okay. Well,
so
I've
pole position.
Corey's pole position is Pascal Wehrlein.
I knew that was coming.
To be honest, I didn't really think about it. I just wrote down my dual selections, and I just picked one of the four like I did last time with Mortara, and it worked out. So I've just done the same thing. But I nearly picked Mortara again, but then I thought, Wehrlein, Berlin. I think he got a pole there or a fastest lap there last year, maybe. So I just chose him. Simple enough answer, really.
Well, I was going to go for... Mega. Actually, no, I had quite a few options for pole position. I think because the double header gives you two choices, it's really difficult to just pick one, because you kind of think who's going to do the best, and you got very lucky. But I'm going to go for Mitch Evans, because he's going to be really hungry after Madrid. Like, I haven't put him in my group stages, but I think that gives me an extra chance because I can still get a group right and still get the fastest, the pole. So where you double down, I try and spread my points. So I've gone for
No,
obviously Mitch Evans.
it's funny you said that because I was actually debating him
Yeah.
as well. But I didn't go for him because I thought you'd probably have a Jag driver.
And I
So,
know Mitch has
or
been on the
Buemi.
grid. Mitch has been on the grid for years, and obviously had that really bad crash at the start of one of the races, and he was at the front, and that stuck in my head. I was
Yeah.
like, well, he was third then, and that was season 8, I think it was, or season 7, something around in the Gen 2 era. And I was like, yeah, let's go for Mitch Evans. So
I think he got a fastest lap there in the race
yeah,
last year. Was it double header last year?
when
as
I
well? I think he got one of them maybe.
possibly,
I can't remember. I may be
yeah.
wrong, but I think I remember seeing it.
We definitely
But,
need to
yeah.
update our stat tracker to have previous race results, don't we? And then we'll
Oh,
be
definitely.
proper
I need
nerds
to.
then.
I need to take a history lesson in
Yeah.
Formula E and just get my stats. Like the commentators do, where they have the
Yeah.
random stats about drivers and stuff. Yeah, I could do with that when I'm doing these predictions, but I've just got back off holiday. It's the last thing on my mind. So
We're going to go for our Energized drivers now, and I've been thinking about Energized quite a lot. I was in the supermarket before we started this, and I was like, who's my Energized driver going to be? I know, that's what I was thinking about. It was really bothering me, because, again, I've got so many good names that I think are going to do well this week. But for the Depleted, I've got names down, but I feel like I'm going to have to change it, I feel like, because I don't know, I'm still not 100% on it.
Oh.
But for my Energized driver, I'm going to go for Maximilian Gunther, because he's just had some strange results. And Energized can either go either way. You either got to pick someone who's going to do really well and stays really well, or someone at the bottom. But I just think, no, I want Gunther to just turn up, just score some points over the weekend. So that's who I've gone for. It's Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther, that's a fair shout. You know what? The explanation you're given there is actually very valid. Like, you either double down on someone doing well and staying doing well, or you go for someone that's maybe struggling a little bit in championship position and provides a good weekend. And I've kind of done, well, no, not really similar thing, but I've gone for a contrasting weekend from last time. And my Energized, I've gone Cassidy. And I think I don't know if it was his or Citroen's bad call in Madrid let him down, and I think he's going to want to redeem himself in a way. So I feel I don't think it can get much worse than that, leading the race and finishing virtually last. So I've picked him. I think he'll do better. Whether he'll be classed as Energized, who knows? But I've decided to go for him. And yeah, we've kind of called him consistent Cassidy, but he's been fairly inconsistent the last few races.
Yeah, Mortara's taken that now.
Yeah, so I've decided to try and give him that urge, or I've put my chips on him to.
I think he was
well.
so unfortunate as well in Madrid, because he was on the front row of the grid and then to finish, and that is a great depleted option, wouldn't it? Of that to have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, but he just did a Buemi. Buemi did it in Mexico. It's just one of those where Formula E, you want to roll a 6 but you get a 1 and then you're off to jail. So it's it's like that. So but yeah, good Energize. I think Cassidy needs a bit of a hype. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's doing.
For my Depleted, assuming it's me.
Yeah,
now,
it's you. Yes.
I've done the same thing but flipped it. I've gone Da Costa.
Yeah.
I think Da Costa will. Yeah, I think after the 2 highs that he's had, I think he's just going to be flat like a week-old Coca-Cola. I don't think it's going to work, and I just think he's not going to be. He might still get a points finish. But I just think that, you can't really better 2 race wins in a row other than get a 3rd in a row, really. So I think he can only really go downwards from where he is. So I've gone for Da Costa. No, nothing against Antonio Felix Da Costa in any way, shape or form. I just think it was kind of a sensible choice, really.
You are going to get a lot of V's in the London pit lane. You know that, aren't you? Don't taunt them, Corey.
I've already got Buemi coming up to me and killing me. So yeah,
you're just a bit anti-Jag powertrain, aren't you? That's what you are.
No, I just like going against you.
That's true.
I love Joel Eriksson, right? So I'm not fully anti-Jag powertrains. So yeah, but that was my depletion driver. Depleted.
I think it's good one because I think again you're on like I can see you at like a betting website and the odds are good and it's likely to happen, and I think that's where you've gone. It's like, how do you keep on that, that run of form? So, and obviously we do it over 2 races, so if Da Costa wins 3 for 3, then you won't get the points, but if he gets like 2 bad results,
but if he has two if he has 2 average weekends where nothing
exactly
really
you could actually win it twice.
Really...
That's even better for you.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, well that's a good shout. I wouldn't personally put him down there because I've looked.
Well, obviously,
I've studied his results, and I was like, he was doing well in Brazil before Marty took him out. So, and then he had a terrible Mexico, and then Drugovich took him out in Miami, and then all of a sudden he just became really good. So, yeah, I've realised that. Yeah, I've probably studied that too hard. Do you want to know my Energised?
Yeah.
No, not my Energized. I already said my Energized. Do you want to know my Depleted? Yeah. So I have gone for Eduardo Mortara because I think he's due a bad result, and I think he's had quite good results. He's just obviously that first race has kept him behind Pascal, but also he's had some really good results. But I think he's converting a good car. But I think this weekend I think it's going to be quite German dominated. So I think there's going to be. It's one of the tracks that I didn't know very, very well, and I think it does work a little bit different to like how the other circuits have fell, even though it's a traditional street circuit at an abandoned airport, which is fantastic.
So you've gone for similar logic, really, in the same way that he's been, on high, and he's,
I was thinking Pascal, but I just think no, that's silly. Like, I think, no, Pascal's going to do... He'll either do really good or okay. I don't think he'll have a smashed into the wall type scenario. Although he did put Da Costa in the wall in practice last year. So that's why when you said Da Costa, I forgot about that. And then I was like, I should mention about how Pascal put him in the wall in practice. Like, what it's if you've not seen
that actually.
Yeah,
that was on the straight, wasn't
it? Yeah. He just literally, Da Costa was slowing down, and he just sort of tapped him, and then he went into the wall. Yeah. I think the wheels stayed on, but And then watching that driver series, you can really understand that probably didn't help their feud. So, but he's in a better place now,
Right. Speaking of better places, the place to be is on the podium.
Yes.
Now, Kyle, who have you got in P3?
Yeah, P3, I'm going to go for Mitch Evans because I think he's going to score some points this weekend. I just don't think he's going to put it on the front of the grid. He can, and he might, but yeah, he's my 3rd position. He could have had it last race. I mean, we could have had a double DNF for Jag last race as well, but we didn't, very fortunately, because it was close all the way to the end, and I think Mitch does deserve to be in 2nd. Did he deserve the win? That's up for Jaguar's decision, but yeah, I think he's going to score high this weekend. I'd rather take 2 consistent 3rds than 1 first and out the points, so I'm going to go for that. What about you? Who's made it onto the podium in Berlin for you?
Right, it is Corey's boldcalls.com sponsor for my P3. I have gone for Norman Nato.
Oh, that would be
P3.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Now, Kyle, sorry. You're probably thinking, Corey, you're an idiot. Why have you picked Nato? And to be honest, I think we're due a shock result. So I have gone for, not Roland, I've gone for Nato. And I know we've kind of slandered him on the prediction videos recently, where we've had him as Energised and he's been nowhere near it, and then we've had him as Depleted and he's been Depleted. Let's just throw him in there. I think just give him a mention, give him some praise. We've got to remember that Norman Nato is a professional racing driver.
Yeah.
So we've got to treat him as well as the others. So I have backed him this weekend for the Berlin doubleheader. And that's about all I'm going to say about him, because, to be honest, it is a very wild cardy kind of pick for P3. So, and especially on a doubleheader. So, I just thought, why not send it? We're going to chuck Natto in there and hope he does well.
No, I like it. I like that decision. I think he's had some good attempts at good results, but I think some fortunes never favoured the grave. What's the phrase? I don't know. That's
brave.
Fortunes
favour the brave, Kyle. Fortunes don't favour the grave.
Well, I think he's always tried to get there, and I think there's been some unfortunate things. I think he got pushed off the track last race in one of the gravel tracks, but
I think if you've got a grave, you're pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, if you're new to this series, this isn't unusual, is it? Me and Corey always either make up a random close to phrase or absolutely butcher it. So Corey tends to make them up, and I tend to say I'm wrong.
Yeah, it sounds right in our head, and then you rewatch it and you're like, what the hell are you
They're even more funnier though when you're like, I can't believe you said that, and at the time you can't go back. Once it's said, it's done. So.
Yeah, that's it. No redos.
And we would like this to be an entertaining prediction show, because a lot of people aren't watching it to see if we're right. People are watching it to go, actually agree with that, or you didn't say this. And I like that about the community, because I think out of all the 20 drivers, it is so difficult to just pick. It's not predictable at all. Like, you've just said Norman Natto, and I completely agree with that. Like, yeah, where is he this season? Like, we've got 20 drivers that could all finish first. Yeah, and that's been proved countless times. So that was your third, wasn't it? So you now get your second.
That was P3.
Yeah, you get your second now.
Oh, yes. So, P2, I have gone for Nick Cassidy. And I'm sort of double downing on my Energised. But at the same time, last race in Madrid, he was up there. And it just went wrong. So I think it's gonna go wrong, and he's going to be up there. That's kind of like, I've flipped it round. I haven't put him in my Duels. I've put him as my Energised because he might start low down and then work his way up. And I just think it's gonna be a contrast from Madrid. So I think he's gonna reverse Uno card his form, and I've slapped him in second to try and bring him back to his consistent Cassidy days. But we will see. The Citroen, it's got pace, as we saw last time. So I've gone for it. I've gone for him in P2, and that was about all I thought. It didn't take me long to think about Cassidy putting him in there, but we will see. We'll see. And that's who I've gone for. So,
well, you'll be happy to know I've gone same vibe, different team. So I've gone for Oliver Rowland for second position, because he's a bit like Cassidy, just had a terrible result last time. And I think, no, these are the big boys, so they should be on the podiums. And I think, I don't think he'll win it. I mentioned in one of the videos I did recently that he's one of the drivers that should have won a race by now, because he's the world champion. It's Oliver Rowland, and he hasn't. So I'm not going to completely write that off, because I do think there's a big chance that he's going to start scoring some real points. Probably Monaco, if I had to put my money on it, but I think he'll get on the podium this race, and I think he'll get second. So for my first, I feel like I'm going to be really harsh here, because I feel like you might have gone for this one. But I've not had him all through this prediction show, so I'm having Pascal Wehrlein, because it's the Germinator in Germany. So why would you not go Pascal Wehrlein? He is so talented. We can't put a word wrong with him this season yet. So he's a great category for depleted, but I'm not doing that. So I have probably taken what is most likely the most logical answer. So Pascal Wehrlein for me.
Well, the thing is, I knew you were going first for the first prediction for P1.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote Wehrlein down as reserve, because I had a feeling that you'd probably pick him.
That's smart of you.
So, and I think Wehrlein, I was like, nah, not going to bother with Wehrlein. I'll put him as reserve just in case you don't say him, or you pick my other driver who I've got written down. But I'm not going for the driver I actually have written down in P1 on my pad. I'm going for the driver I had written down in P3 on my pad, because I decided I was going to throw Norman Natto in there. And my driver that I had in P3, who I'm now putting P1, is Nick de Vries.
Yes.
And I've gone for it. I've gone for him because he is a world-class driver, and he's just had a bit of bad luck this season with damage, with his car not starting, his engine breaking down, or like his power unit or whatever it's called, not working. And I just think that there's an absolute animal in that helmet, and he's obviously a former world champion as well. So I've gone for Nick de Vries, and I didn't have. Do you want to know who I actually had in P1?
Yeah,
it was Mitch Evans.
Yeah.
But thinking about it, that would mean Jaguar have won like 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. I don't want that because you won't shut up. So I've gone for.
Well, surely you do. Oh, yes, but yeah.
Yeah, I've gone for de Vries. So I actually had him in P3, but then I thought, you know what, Norman Nato deserves a mention. So I've gone for de Vries for this one.
I think it's a good shout, and I believe it's the fastest package, and I think Nick de Vries has been so unfortunate. He's had one DNF that wasn't his fault. And then he had a DNS. You know, there's things that's 2 races, and I think he's had another DNF, which I think was a crash. So, but then that means he's only scored 3 races. But he's down in 17th, I think. I've actually got the standings here.
Last time in Madrid as well, he had that damage to his front wing, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he just dropped down the order.
He's actually he's 14th, and he's not scored in the last 3 races at all. He's scored 10 points. I think that might be the only time he has scored. No, he's got 2 points somewhere else. I think that was in Mexico. No, it can't have been because he DNF'd. It must have been in when everyone else started getting penalties and stuff in Brazil. So yeah, he's due some points. So
yeah, you know what? I just think he's going to do well, and he's due a good bit of good points haulage. So he deserves to be in there, and I think. I don't need to explain it anymore. I think he's an animal, and he's about to be unleashed. So that's it. And I think, like you said, Mahindra package is a very solid car, and I don't think he's underperforming it. I think he's just had, like you said, bad luck. So we'll see. Let's see how he goes. Let's see how he goes in Berlin, and I think, I kind of forgot what I was going to say.
Well, it's pity points time, isn't it? It's the winning team. And while you were just sort of talking about Nick de Vries, I was thinking, I've got 2 written down here, and I feel so conflicted. I put the graphic up. Obviously, winning team is the one who scores the most. Fun fact, I worked out that if 4th, 5th, pole position and fastest lap is scored, and then the other top 3 are other constructors, that's like the winning team. Like, I was like, what's the worst outcome that can still win winning team? So I just thought I'd throw that one in there because it took me a while to work it out. So, but I don't know. I mean, the pity points are for me, and last time they're the ones that clawed the most back because I went Jaguar TCS Racing and they got a 1-2. So you can't beat that. But do I go with predictable, which we don't like doing on this show, or do we go what's most likely to score me the points? I'm going to have to go predictable. I'm going to go for Porsche. Like, I feel like it's written in the stars, isn't it? Muller's good, Pascal's good, home race. They know this track, and the livery's purple. Like, everything there is just brilliant, isn't it? It probably won't even be purple this week because it's the home race. It'll probably be like the German flag or something, or silver. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see who you put, because obviously I will tell you who I was going to put, and I might have kicked myself on this one. But yeah, I've gone for Porsche. But who's your pity points then?
Well, as I said earlier, how I had Wehrlein as reserve, I actually had Porsche as reserve because the Kyle pity points round, I knew you'd probably not choose Jaguar for like the 4,000th week in a row. So I thought you were going to pick Porsche. So I'm going to have to go for the answer that I wrote them down first anyway, and I didn't actually have them. Obviously, I had De Vries in 3rd.
Yeah.
And now I've moved him to 1st, and I was going to say that I've got Mahindra, but I'm not going for the team that wins, because I always do whoever wins the race is my team, normally. But I actually had him in 3rd, but now I've gone back to my ways, and I have gone Mahindra, by the way.
Oh, yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I have gone Mahindra, so you can do the whoosh.
Yeah, I was going to be like, what graphic am I putting up, and when am I putting it up?
Yeah, right. You can do the whoosh now
Yeah.
with Mahindra on the screen. Yes, I have gone Mahindra, but I was going to say normally I don't go for who. Normally I go for who finishes first, and I was going to say that I haven't gone for who finishes first, but I kind of can't do that now because I changed my mind last second. So yes, I've gone Mahindra. We've hyped him up. We've said they've got a really good solid package.
Yeah.
That could be taken out of context, so please don't. Yeah. So now I've got him winning. I might as well say, yeah, I've got De Vries winning. So why not?
Yeah.
And I also predicted that you would pick Porsche. So you backed up my.
Do you know what I find so interesting about this show is the fact that we don't talk at all about what we're gonna do at all. We keep our results a secret. But yet we've followed the same path. And I know we look at first and we look at second. But like I put Mahindra as my first pick and Porsche as my reserve. And it was only then when I was like, do I go bold with Mahindra or do I go where I should go, which is the more predictable option, being all the stuff I described about Porsche. So I changed my mind. So, but there's other things as well, like this championship. Just Boldcalls.com is great, but like also trying to score as many points that you think is correct is what I love about it.
Yeah. For my dual selections, I know I can never put Buemi as a reserve because I know that you probably pick him. So, yeah, and I did actually write Mahindra reserve Jaguar, but then I thought, oh, Kyle will probably pick Jaguar.
Yeah.
And then I thought Porsche, and I thought, well, Kyle's going first, so he's probably going to pick either Porsche or Jaguar, so I'll put Mahindra down. And then you were talking about how good Mahindra were, and I was like, oh, he's gonna go for it. But yeah. So I've gone.
I think with a double header, I mean, yeah, it's one of those where I just think I've always been swayed by. Well, Porsche were good there last season, weren't they? So, and it was like one of those where I just think, I can't see them messing this up.
But so were Jaguar. Jaguar were good there last year as well. I think I remember.
But then you put in my head about Evans. They can't win 3 on the trot, and you're right. That'll be a new Formula E record probably. Or I don't know.
I don't know. Someone let us know.
Yes.
But but like we said, we need to catch up on our history and do some stuff.
I think it would be likelier if Da Costa got 3 in a row. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get the wiki page up. So, but yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, Berlin. It's exciting. Looks like it's going to be dry. I checked the weather. The 7-day forecast obviously is now available, and it looks like it's going to be quite nice and warm out there. So. No wet races. I don't think there's any change to the configuration. They've kind of got a good one going. So obviously this track can be manipulated in many ways because it is on an airport and there's a lot of space. So I imagine some of you guys in the community will be going to that race because it is quite popular. So I like to think of it as the Monaco of Formula E. It's kind of always been there. It's got some heritage. Okay, it's not as glitz and glamoury because it's an old, like literally a war airport. I think I don't know too much about Tempelhof, but I know it closed. I think like 15 years ago or something in the 2000s, and then Formula E were like, I like that bit of tarmac or asphalt, whatever it's gone down, and they're like, yeah, we'll have it, and I love it. I think it's a great venue. Obviously, it's an airport, so I imagine there's some quite good parking as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let us know down below what you think are your predictions and get involved with our Fan Zone Championship because we really do like to see, just everyone's predictions because Formula E is so unpredictable. It is like playing a board game and you get dealt what you get dealt and it's great. So, and Corey's back and you're looking forward to it?
Yes, I actually am. I've been deprived of all motorsport, really, because the F1 was cancelled, the MotoGP was cancelled, and obviously Formula E were on a break. So I've had no motorsport, but I've also been on holiday, which was also great because I didn't have to wake up at 3 in the morning to watch motorsport. And yes, but yeah, I haven't got too much more to add. I'm just excited for the race. I would just like to shout out my friend Brad, who actually told me we hit 500 subscribers before you did, Kyle. So, shout out Brad. He let me stay at his place in Australia, and he subscribed to the channel. So he might see
Brad.
this. Yes, so thank you, Brad. And yeah, roll on the weekend. I'm actually really excited. I've been deprived of motorsport. I watched the MotoGP earlier, which was great. It's nice to be back home. So, yes, I'm excited. Hopefully Jaguar don't win again, because then we have to listen to you talk about them.
Of course.
So, yeah.
I try and not be opinionated. Well, no, not opinion. I try not to be biased, but, you can't help it when your team are on the top step most weekends. Well, they are now. So, obviously,
I don't blame you.
A double header is double points in my head, because there is so much up for grabs. Obviously, they are 2 individual races. And I just think double headers in this championship right now do so much damage. Like, we're going to see big jumps. There's going to be, I think there's 94 points up for grabs for each team through there. I've got, here, I'll put the graphic up, I'll put it in the pre-show. This is how the points all work out with like first and second across the races. And yeah, 94. If you think the drivers now are like on 100, I think it's 130 something, like 94 points. I mean, it's not hard, but it's not easy either to get those. So that's why I just love the way it is. So, and I'm looking forward to this weekend. I think we all deserve it after the spring break. And then we move on to the real Monaco of Monaco the weekend after. So, oh, and I knew there was something on the tip of my tongue. I was like, there's something else. So I had mentioned in the pre-show, there might be a delay on Unscripted if you watch my Unscripted show due to I've got some commitments this weekend. However, I've asked this one over here to maybe pick up the baton, but obviously we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, Corey's Unscripted maybe even better than mine. So no pressure, but
don't count on it.
Yeah, but if there will be an episode of Unscripted, it just may be delayed. But yeah, obviously I'm excited to see if one, Corey turns up and does it, and two, like, yeah, how this weekend is just going to end up, because I just really hope that, you never know, we could have like Envision leading the championship. I don't know if that's possible, but you never know.
I could just see the title of the next video. Envision, why are they so quick?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all we've got for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Obviously, check out our new animation to explain the rules of the show if you still don't know. And I'm going to hand it over to Corey, who does most of the outros whenever he's here.
Yep. So, yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And cue the outro.
Yeah.